She's a professor of chemistry at the University of Colombo in Sri Lanka. She obtained her PhD in analytical chemistry from Oregon State University in the US and holds first-class Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry from the University of Colombo. Her research focuses on electrochemical sensors, analytical instrumentation, corrosion science, and chemistry education, with publications in leading international journals and several granted patents. She's received multiple awards for research excellence and academic outreach, and is currently a Fulbright visiting scholar at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, USA. She's here. We're very lucky to have her here at Lyon, doing an outreach visit, talking about both her experience as a Fulbright scholar as well as her ongoing research at the University of Minnesota. So let's give her a nice warm welcome.
Thank you very much. We put the microphone on because earlier we forgot to switch it on, so I didn't. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience. It's going to be a small, very small one, 6 months experience that I have here. So before I actually move on to the Fulbright experience, for the ones who don't know, I'm from Sri Lanka. It's a country in the it's an Asian country that's located in the Indian Ocean, right next to India, and it's an island. Right? So being an island, we have many things that are unique to Sri Lanka. So this is something that you see, it's only seen in Sri Lanka. That's south coast of Sri Lanka where people fish on, that's called still fishing. So you have a pole that's kept in the coral reef and they balance themselves on there and do the fishing. So that's something that's very unique. And other than that, like around the island, it's an island. So we have beautiful beaches, like I told earlier as well. That's filled with sea life. Especially we have sea turtles. In south, we have turtle hatcheries where you can actually send little turtles that are born on the day to the sea. And in the east, it's the beaches where you can go snorkeling and you can see these nice reef sharks and so many other fish. It's a beautiful nation. And other than that, we have rainforest. That's one of the UNESCO preserved sites, which is called Singharaja, and it's it's a biodiverse hotspot and has many endemic plant animal species in there. And that's one of the waterfalls that's in Singharaja that you see. And all these animals there are endemic. So these are endemic animals to Sri Lanka. And other than the endemic animals, we have other ones as well. You have the elephants, the leopards, and you can go safari and see all this wonderful wildlife. And it has a rich cultural heritage as well. Again, UNESCO heritage site, Sigiriya, also known as the Lion's Rock. It was built in 5th century, and we have a history of 3,000 years. And so this was built in the 5th century, and people are still today amazed to see the architecture that goes in there. And so it's a painting that is seen in Sigiriya. So it was a fortress that was beautiful, and it has a relation to the famous paintings, if you have studied the Ajanta paintings in India. And again, being a Buddhist country, the main religion in Sri Lanka is Buddhism. Being a Buddhist country, we have many temples, and this is the tallest brick stupa that's built in world. It was built in again in early one of our very first kingdoms at Anuradhapura. So we have like a very, it's a country that's rich with nature, beauty, and culture. So if you ever decide to, make your Fulbright journey to Sri Lanka, that's a little bit about the country. Okay, so this is my home institution in the United States. So I don't think I have to tell a lot about the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. I'm sure you all know a lot more than I do. So I'm to see the entrance of the department, and that's Goldie the gopher, the mascot of the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. So let me tell you a little bit about the Fulbright program. I actually got this from their website itself. So let me read it to you. The Fulbright program is the flagship international academic exchange program sponsored by United States government. Fulbright was founded in 1946 with a goal to increase mutual understanding and support friendly and peaceful relations between the people of United States and the people of other countries. So led by the US government, in partnership with more than 160 countries worldwide, Fulbright offers an expansive suite of life-changing international academic, cultural exchange opportunities. So that's the whole idea of the Fulbright program. So let me tell you a little bit about why I chose to apply for the Fulbright scholarship. So one thing, it's to grow academically and professionally. When I came in as a Fulbright scholar, provided by Fulbright. And also it was really good that I get to work with experts in my field. So this is Professor Phil Bowman. I'm working with him at the University of Minnesota. And his expertise are in the fields of analytical and bioanalytical chemistry, environmental and green chemistry, nanoscience and material chemistry, and chemical physics. So in all these areas, he's using ion selective electrodes and trying to improve them in application. So I feel very lucky that he accepted me into his group and to work on his research. And according to him, he refers to me as his research niece because I worked, the supervisor I worked with for my PhD and his supervisor and Professor Bullman had been in the same postdoctoral group. So there's that relationship as well, but I think I'm extremely lucky that I got to work with an expert like him. And also it's a wonderful way of experiencing new culture and also advanced research facilities. So if I tell you a little bit about my research experience during this past few months, so what we have worked with is development of solid contact electrodes. Solid contact electrode is like it's an ion selective electrode. So basically it's going to give a response to one specific ion that is there in the solution. So usually these electrodes will have a solution phase inside. But whenever you have a solution inside, it's very hard to use them, how to maintain them. So the research has been going on for, let's say, like 30 years and trying to develop a solid contact to replace the solution part by a solid. But when you try to replace this solution part using a solid, there are other effects that is coming into the picture. one thing is a signal that was very stable when you had the solution, when you replace it with a solid, it is no longer stable. There are drift in signals, and also you cannot reproduce the signal that you have seen. So these were issues that they have seen with developing solid contact electrodes. So what we've been trying to do is to incorporate new this ion to electron transducer. So that's the part that is replacing the solution in the usual ion selective electrode that has been there. People have researched on material that you can use to build as these ion to electron transducers. So the materials like carbon nanotubes and mesophorous carbon nitrides and different carbon types and conducting polymers have been used in this place. However, what has happened is that when you introduce these material, the response has not been great. So basically, my work was to find out why the response is not so great. So that's basically what I've been working on, and it's been quite successful. We've found out why it's not very successful, mainly because all this carbon material is adsorbing. If you can think of like even the filters, you use carbon, right? So you're using carbon to adsorb all the impurities from the water. So it's the exact same concept that is happening here as well. Carbon is absorbing the sensing material that is there in the membrane. So that's why the response becomes not very good. So that's something that we've found out, and we're actually working on a journal article right now. So that's been a bit about my research experience. And if you look at the other opportunities that's there, other than the research opportunity that I got, is exposure to this international community and networking opportunities. Because when you're from an Asian country, doing research in the country is not very easy, mainly because we have very less facilities in there. Even to get the chemicals or anything takes a long time. So having research collaborations, it's actually very helpful. So that's something that I think is a really good opportunity for me. And also, I really appreciate this outreach lecturing visit that I got. I think it's a very rewarding experience and a very welcoming experience. I'm really, really happy with that experience that I'm having there. And also was a very wonderful experience for my kids to experience a new culture and like even the new environment. Because from being in Sri Lanka, it's a tropical country, so we don't have any seasons. We have a rainy season and a dry season. We don't have any winter snow. So for my kids, it was the first time they saw snow. So they built snowmen, and so was very happy with what they did. Went skiing, and they actually experienced the roller coasters for the first time, and they experienced the Christmas lights. They were here during the Christmas time. They enjoyed that, and all the wonderful things that they didn't get to see. So I think that's a wonderful opportunity for them to grow as global citizens, I would say, in there. So yeah, that's about the experience that I've had as a research and in the other opportunities. So just very little bit about the opportunities with Fulbright, because if you are a Fulbright, if you are a student in the US, you have this Fulbright US student program, and so you have to pursue graduate studies, and
usually you're accepted to either master's or a doctoral degree to conduct research, or you can teach English abroad as well, right? So the Fulbright Sri Lanka website says the grant length, if you are going to Sri Lanka, it's 9 months, and the competition for the year 26-27 is closed already, but the Fulbright competition for the years 2027 and 28 is opening in the spring of this year. So there's a lot more information in the website. If you are interested, it's something that I would suggest to go and look for it. And you have the Fulbright US Scholar Program. So that's the program that I'm in. I'm one of the visiting scholars, but I'm coming from a different country into US. So it will be, since you are US citizens, it will be, you can pick the country that you are interested in studying or studying research or teaching, and then can apply for that program as well. So a little bit about that program, again from the site. So the US scholars and professionals can select from 130 countries where they lecture or conduct research in wide variety of academic and professional fields. So they encourage to apply current faculty, administrators, and experienced professionals. There are other awards as well. These are the two main ones that are open, but there are many other small awards that are available. So if you go to the website, they have so many other events. So actually, that's my Fulbright experience and a little bit about the Fulbright. And thank you very much for being here and being a wonderful audience. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dr. Perera, for your talk.
Thank you.
And we've got plenty of time for Q&A. I think the idea is any questions that you have for Dr. Perera about her Fulbright experience here in the United States, she'd be happy to talk, respond to those. Dr. Beal and I are also here. We were both Fulbright recipients as well through different programs. I received the U.S. student Fulbright to conduct my dissertation research in Mexico. Dr. Beal, you received a U.S. Scholar one. Correct. Could you tell us just a little bit where you went?
I spent the fall semester of 2018, before I even knew several of you people, in Hong Kong.
So as Dr. Perera is saying, these Fulbright opportunities, it's a pretty amazing program because it's one that is available to people within the United States. She mentioned it was founded in 1946 and actually introduced by Senator William Fulbright of Arkansas, has become a really integral part of essentially U.S. diplomacy and sort of relationships with other governments around the world. So it's funded through our State Department here in the United States, but we have binational accords with many Fulbright agencies in different countries that also sort of contribute to it. So it's a pretty amazing program that allows scholars and students both from the United States to travel abroad to other countries to study, to conduct research, to teach English, as well as from scholars from other countries to come to the United States and also participate in those research opportunities and cultural exchanges. So we'll open it up for any questions that you all have.
What fields are available? Is it any discipline, or are there certain disciplines they're looking at more than others?
As far as I know, it's any discipline. It's not just related to just one area. You can, as long as you're so they said, any current faculty member in any discipline. If you're interested, you can just go ahead. Yes.
All right, thank you.
There are some matters of match, and those rotate they kind of slide around over so many years. So maybe 1 year there's an education department looking for an American partner in Denmark. That would be a great fit for Dr. Crosby, but maybe less of a good fit for Dr. Kennedy. And you might kind of like browse the offerings to see where the matches fit best. For students, looking at you guys, they have the, what's it called, ETA? I just blanked on it. English Teaching Assistant position, which is for students who are prepared to teach English, not that they're English majors, go abroad and in some cases read newspapers to school children during the day so they can get the feel and rhythm of our language. Sometimes teach a little bit at the secondary level, give you training to do that. And this is essentially a study abroad opportunity for you. It's paid, your travel, you are paid to be there, have some work responsibilities. But those are open to students of any major, and the faculty ones can sometimes be a little bit shift according to field, right?
So I believe you have to, now when we apply, we have to find the host. So you have to find someone who is willing to host you in that country. So as long as you have that thing, then it's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you could speak a little bit more to your own application. So how did you decide that did you specifically choose this colleague that you wanted to work with at the University of Minnesota and secure a letter from them and sort of say, this is my project, this is what I wanna do?
Exactly, that's how it happens, because in the application process for us, it says you have to have a host, you have to find the host institution, and you have to get a letter of support from the host institution as well as your home institution. So I have to give a letter saying that Professor Bullman is ready to accept me into his research group, and I had to give a letter from the University of Colombo saying that they are okay with me taking leave and going for 6 months. So they will release me from my workload and they will allow me to go. So I'm assuming it should be the same for the US scholars as well. Yes.
I was wondering how this experience contrasts with your graduate school experience, because Oregon State, correct?
I went to Oregon State, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say it's a completely different experience. In Oregon State, I was more of a student. So you had to go through the student life. You had to take the lectures. You have to do the teaching assistantship duties, and then you had to do your own research as well. So this is more concentrated on research. So I thought it's a wonderful opportunity for me, because back home, even though you do research, it's all the students who are doing all the work, whereas I'm doing the teaching and mostly the administrative work. So it's been so long time after that I'm back in the lab and working from on my work. It's mainly different. I think I'm a little bit more matured and more I'm definitely more matured. It was a long time ago that I had my PhD experience, but I think I'm taking it more in the sense that whenever I'm doing something, I always think about, okay, what can I do next, and what can I do when I go back home? What are the things that I can do, so when I go back home I can contribute as well. So I think that's the main difference I see. I was more of a student who's trying to learn things, not actually thinking about future or the next step. Whereas this time when I'm always thinking, okay, we have this, now next step, what are we going to do? I would say mostly in my case, it's mostly the maturity, I would say. That's different.
Are there any specific things from the work you've been doing in Minnesota that you can see bringing back to University of Colombo and Sri Lanka, or types of research that you may be able to continue that you've been embarking on there?
Yes, I do plan on working I've had some discussions with Professor Burma, and so I've also worked with some paper-based sensors and fabric-based sensors. So I do plan to talk about the fabric-based sensors that we've talked about on Thursday. He has also worked on ion selective electrodes. I've not worked with the fabric-based sensors with the ion selective electrodes. So I think that's something that I'm planning to continue with him. Hopefully I'll be able to have the biggest issue that I had with continuing my research in iron selective electrodes in Sri Lanka is the chemical availability. It was takes a long time to get the chemicals, and it's quite expensive as well. So that was the issue. But then I've worked out ways how I can work around it, and so that's something that I do plan to continue when I go back home as well.
If I can add a couple more things for people who might be considering it. For faculty, faculty coming from the U.S. outward have two different types of scholars programs. They might, like Dr. Roulier is a third, by the way, Fulbright Scholar we have on campus. He's not available to be with us today. He did a semester, I believe, in Ahmedabad in northeast India. And his was full research, conducting on-the-ground research, giving research talks like this one or like yours on Thursday. Mine was a teaching position. I taught 2 classes at HKU, and there was kind of an implied release, but I was there to teach classes. I didn't travel away from their campus because I was supposed to be there. So as you look around, you might look at, what am I really interested in? Am I looking for a research opportunity, a teaching opportunity? Are there places I really want to go to or not? And you can kind of look at the map, and the map has this little interactive thing that shows you what's available and what's maybe Peter, you really want to go to Bulgaria, but they just don't have anything business econ there for you, and you have to make a different choice. I don't know. Sorry.
Continue. I will ask the question later.
Okay. Arkansas is also kind of low-key considered a priority state because we have fewer people leaving or applying for the Fulbright opportunity. That means we actually have, conversely, an advantage because they are looking for opportunities to fund people from Arkansas. Faculty, whether you're from Arkansas or not, if your home institution is here, that's a plus. Students, if you're thinking about applying for one of the ETAs, that's a major plus. It makes us stand out relative to the more populous states. Serious advantage. I'm pretty sure that I got mine at least 70% because of that, right? And they also provide, I hope this is still true, the support that they provide it leaves very little to be desired. Like, they fly your dependents over. There can be a stipend for dependents if they need schooling or if they need additional housing. It's not mission work. I mean, there's a good mission in terms of global citizenship. It's very noble and feels important, but you do not have to starve to make that happen. There's a lot of support there.
So if you were to, from US to other country, like if you're looking for a teaching position, right? Like, would you be able to collaborate with a high school? Because if I'm thinking I'm going back and do a session of teaching, like let's say I'm planning on doing calculus. In Sri Lanka, calculus is not taught in universities, it's taught in high school. So would you be able to collaborate with high schools if that's the case? It has to be attached with a university? Is that a requirement?
I honestly am not sure about that at the scholar level.
It's diverse enough that I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere you found.
You should be able to look through, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the answer is I don't know, but the opportunities are different enough.
Okay.
I mean, some comes with, I had university housing. It was like a set position for the rotating Hong Kong scholar. Every semester, same place. Some places say you got to go find your own place and here's money to do it, right? So there's just enough diversity there, it's hard to know for sure.
I think that's also worth reiterating for these English teaching assistantships. So basically, to be eligible for one of those, you need to have your bachelor's degree. So basically, people who are finishing their undergraduate studies here in the US. But there's a similar interactive map for those, and the range of opportunities varies really widely. Right. Some places that are kind of the traditional, really desirable places, like I want to go to Italy. Well, a million other people want to go to Italy. So what they require is pretty high in terms of educational background and sort of maybe studying English as itself as a major rather than just being a native English speaker, etc. Lots of other places, especially as you get to more rural and sort of more areas in the global south have less exposure to English sort of writ large, and so a lot of the competition and a lot of the requirements for going there tend to be lower. And those are also, you know, sort of looking around, you can see sort of what's out there. But a lot of it, as Dr. Bila is saying, sort of starting to look around and match your own interests with the potential opportunities that are out there. And my sort of, just to make a kind of side note, my first experience living and teaching abroad wasn't through a Fulbright. I really didn't know about Fulbright at the time. If I had, I probably would have applied for one. I probably wouldn't have got it, but the opportunity to live and work in a different country when you're 22 or 24 or 25 is just like an amazingly powerful opportunity, regardless if you want to go into medicine or law or chemistry or English or teaching or whatever. Getting some of that experience and essentially demonstrating that you're a mature, self-motivated person to live and work in a different country is a huge advantage, both in sort of like the competitive aspect for getting a job afterwards, but just in kind of like the individual process of maturing and learning more about yourself. So it's something that I can't recommend highly enough, and especially if you can do it with a prestigious award like a Fulbright, I think it's a pretty amazing thing, regardless of what kind of the later path you might be on.
So on the slide itself, it says professionals. And I know like the students who are here, I think I know all of them. So none of them are actually necessarily interested in academic, like academic type of a career. Do you know like if even as a like optometrist or a doctor or a vet, like that sort of thing, can they be applying in that case? Like someone who's in the medical field?
So the bottom one is for the scholar program. So the students can actually do the while they're doing the studies, they can go for the higher education opportunities with research. I believe that's.
So part of what they did for my class, so the very top bullet is for recent grads. As Dr. Libredo says, you would have to have your degree, but you probably wouldn't have it at the time of application. You might be applying during your junior year. Your junior year to go after the degree's printed, which is fine. That's standard, right? You could probably even do that for a year or two after graduation. Dr. Arocha's question is,
mine is different.
The Fulbright U.S. Scholar Program, I got to meet several other Fulbrights because they bring us together for the pre-departure program, telling us how to manage their insurance program all at once, how to manage taxes and whatever, this kind of stuff. And you get to meet everybody who's going to the same sector of the world, all the faculty. And there were, in fact, some healthcare professionals doing it as well. It was kind of embarrassing for me, actually, because they were going to, like, rural Thailand to work on, like AIDS treatment. They're like, you're meeting these people, small talking, like, what are you doing? I'm treating AIDS in rural Thailand. What are you doing? I was reading books, man. I don't know. You get real embarrassed real fast. So there were some medical, but those may have also been medical faculty, some of them. The issue there is probably not that you're a professional or a scholar, but if you're working at White River, can you negotiate a leave from there as well as you could a leave from faculty that usually corresponds to a sabbatical? I'm not saying you can't, but it's harder to get that leave from different,
They're also better funded programs that allow for medical professionals to do that work. Doctors Without Borders, those types of things have a little bit more access to funding and a little bit more freedom in terms of the limits than what Fulbright does because it's not a governmental institution. So it's a little easier for someone who wants to do that to do something that's outside of this. They can still go do the work that they want to do.
And I know this is different, but going back to the U.S. student program, so there's actually a fairly recent fellowship that I don't know very much about, but it's a part of the U.S. student program in public health. And that would be for people who don't yet have a terminal degree, so people who are in process, I would imagine, in a medical degree as well as like master's or doctorate in public health, those sorts of ones. So that's a specific fairly new category within the US student program, which would be aimed at people while they're doing graduate studies.
Any other questions or comments from folks?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
All right, well, let's give Dr. Perera another big round of applause.